Good morning, it's Melanie. Welcome to Monday Mourning Message number 19, and I am talking about death. More specifically, I'm talking about how we start to view deaths differently after our children die. Shortly after Garrett died, I ran into someone on the street who said to me, "My grandma just died, and I know exactly what you're going through." And the conversation left me speechless, because right after Garrett died, somehow in my mind, I spent some time believing that my son's death trumped the deaths of other people. Simply because children are not supposed to die before their parents. And the deaths of grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles seem to follow a natural order of life. But does that mean that the death of my child trumps the death of someone else? I'm not proud to say that I think at some point in my grieving journey, I might have said yes to that. And I know if your child has died, you may actually be feeling the same way. But let me put that kind of thinking into perspective just a little bit. If I'm saying that a death that follows the natural order is not as significant as the death of a child, essentially what I am saying to you is the person that you lost was not as important as my child. Or I'm saying you don't deserve to feel hurt or to grieve as much as I do because I lost my child. There is something inherently wrong with that kind of thinking. We would never start to compare living relationships. I would never say to someone, the relationship you have with your mom is not near as important as the relationship that I have with my child or my mom. So why would we do it after people die? The bottom line is, when we lose someone that we love, it creates a hole in our hearts and in our homes that we have to find a way to fill. I've also met bereaved parents who have been made to feel like there's a hierarchy amongst the deaths of their children. I've met parents whose children have died of cancer and have had other bereaved parents say to them, "Well, at least you got to say goodbye. My son was killed instantly." I've met parents whose children died by suicide and have had other bereaved parents say to them, "Well, your child chose to die and mine didn't, so that makes my hurt worse." There is no hierarchy of hurt, and we cannot truly understand the depths of any other person's loss. We cannot say to a family who has lost their father or their grandmother that they are not allowed to hurt and to grieve. But what we do have the ability to do, because we have endured this huge hurt, is to feel compassion for those people who are experiencing a loss. We have to remember that there is no way for us to understand how equipped any other individual is to deal with a death. It is not our job to judge, and it is certainly not our job to create a hierarchy in our minds and determine who gets to feel the most hurt. A death is a death, and the loss of a life is important. So as Christmas approaches, I challenge each of you to look back over 2018 and remember the friends in your life who have lost loved ones, and reach out to them with an extra card or even a message, just letting them know that you remember. Not that you know exactly how they feel, but just letting them know that you understand that there might be some aspects of Christmas that will be challenging for them. Thank you for being here. I will talk to you next week.